Welcome to Headline Hub Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. News alerts flash worldwide. Television screens and social media feeds are ablaze with urgent updates. The world's attention is fixed on a region that has become a flashpoint for global security. Tensions in the South China Sea have reached a boiling point, with warships from multiple nations maneuvering dangerously close to one another. The air is thick with uncertainty, and every move is watched with bated breath. China has issued a stark warning to the Philippines after American and Japanese warships joined Philippine vessels in these highly contested waters. The presence of these powerful navies signals a dramatic escalation, raising the stakes for everyone involved. This is no ordinary diplomatic spat, it's a direct challenge, pushing one of the world's most critical waterways to the brink. The South China Sea is not just a regional issue, it's a global concern, vital for international trade and energy supplies. China, claiming nearly the entire sea, faces off against the Philippines, now backed by the formidable presence of the US and Japan. The lines are drawn, and the world is watching to see who will blink first. Years of disputes, broken promises, and escalating incidents have led to this moment. Decades of simmering tensions have finally erupted into a high-stakes standoff, with each side unwilling to back down. China's militarization of artificial islands and harassment of neighbors has met a new, assertive Philippine response. The construction of runways, missile sites, and radar stations has transformed the seascape, making the region a potential battleground. The Philippines is documenting every encounter, rallying support, and strengthening alliances. Filipino officials are working tirelessly, meeting with allies and sharing evidence of provocations to build a united front. What's different now? The direct presence of US and Japanese warships in waters China claims. Joint naval exercises and coordinated patrols send a powerful message. The international community will not stand by in silence. This sends a clear message. The Philippines is not alone. The show of unity among these allies is unprecedented, and it signals a new era of cooperation in the face of aggression. China's rhetoric has sharpened, and its warnings have grown ominous. State media broadcasts stern messages, and officials speak of defending sovereignty at any cost, fueling fears of a wider conflict. The world watches as these naval giants navigate treacherous waters. Every maneuver, every radio transmission is scrutinized for signs of escalation. The tension is palpable, and the margin for error is razor thin. The risk of a miscalculation leading to open conflict has never felt more real. A single mistake, a misunderstood signal, could ignite a confrontation with consequences far beyond the region. The South China Sea stands on a knife's edge. As night falls over the contested waters, the world holds its breath, hoping that diplomacy will prevail over the drums of war. In recent weeks, the world has witnessed a remarkable demonstration of international cooperation at sea. Joint maritime exercises brought together the naval forces of the United States, Japan, and the Philippines, highlighting a new era of strategic partnership in the Indo-Pacific. US, Japanese, and Philippine warships sailed in tight formation, their hulls cutting through the waves as one, symbolizing a united front against common challenges. This powerful display of unity sent a clear message to the world. These nations are committed to working together to maintain peace and stability in the region. Their mission was clear: to uphold freedom of navigation, protect international waters, and reinforce a rules-based order that benefits all nations, large and small. For the Philippines, these joint patrols are more than just military maneuvers. They are a visible assurance that it is not alone, and that powerful allies are ready to stand shoulder to shoulder in times of uncertainty. Unlike previous exercises, these drills took place within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, an area at the heart of ongoing territorial disputes. This bold move directly challenges China's sweeping maritime claims and asserts the Philippines' sovereign rights. The shift from passive diplomacy to active deterrence is unmistakable. By taking these actions, the allies are signaling a readiness to defend their interests and uphold international law. Japan's participation is especially noteworthy. As a nation deeply reliant on open sea lanes for trade and energy, Japan's growing involvement reflects its increasing concern for regional security and its willingness to play a more assertive role. The United States, meanwhile, reaffirms its unwavering commitment to its allies. These exercises are a tangible demonstration that defense treaties are not just diplomatic statements but real promises backed by action. By sailing together, these nations send a unified warning to Beijing. Any attempt to disrupt the peace will be met with collective resolve. The principle is simple: An attack on one is a concern for all. This solidarity is the cornerstone of their alliance. This united front is carefully designed to deter further Chinese aggression, making it clear that provocations will not go unanswered. The stakes in these contested waters are higher than ever, and the message from these exercises is unmistakable. The world is watching, and the balance of power is shifting. As these fleets move across the horizon, the security architecture of the region is being reshaped before our eyes, setting the stage for a new chapter in the Indo-Pacific. China's response was immediate and fierce. Beijing accused the Philippines of colluding with foreign powers and warned the US and Japan to stay out. Chinese warships and fighter jets shadowed the Allied vessels, turning the sea into a tense, crowded arena. China's anger is rooted in its belief that the South China Sea is its historical territory. The joint patrols are seen as a direct infringement on its sovereignty. This clash of worldviews, international law versus historical claims, fuels volatility. Beijing's warning is more than rhetoric, it signals a readiness to escalate. The risk of confrontation is real, and the stakes are rising. The world holds its breath as the crisis deepens. China's strategy isn't open war, it's gray zone tactics. Water cannons, maritime militia, and dangerous maneuvers harass Philippine vessels without crossing into outright conflict. Swarms of disguised fishing boats blockade reefs, while Coast Guard ships cut off and shadow rivals. These tactics wear down opponents, asserting control through intimidation and persistence. A military response risks escalation. Doing nothing lets China advance its goals. The Philippines and its allies counter by publicizing incidents, strengthening alliances, and maintaining a constant presence. It's a battle of nerves and endurance, not firepower. Every encounter is a test of resolve. The challenge: push back without triggering war. The struggle is relentless and the outcome remains uncertain. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled China's nine-dashed line had no legal basis. The Philippines won a sweeping legal victory, but China rejected the ruling outright. Beijing continues to ignore the decision, building on disputed reefs and harassing other nations' vessels. For the Philippines and its allies, the ruling is final and binding, a foundation for a rules-based resolution. Upholding it is seen as essential for global order. Yet there's no enforcement mechanism. China faces little consequence for defiance. The rule of law itself is on trial in the South China Sea. If powerful nations can ignore international law, the system's credibility is at risk. The legal battle is far from over. The world is watching to see if law or force will prevail. The South China Sea is now one of the world's most militarized maritime zones. Warships, coast guards, and militias from multiple nations operate in close quarters, raising the risk of accidents. A single misstep or aggressive maneuver could spark an international crisis. Communication is limited and trust is low. More navies in the area mean more chances for incidents. An attack on a Japanese vessel, for example, could trigger US treaty obligations and escalate the conflict. Military planners fear a small incident could ignite a major war. All sides walk a tightrope, hoping to avoid disaster. The margin for error is razor thin. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade. 1/3 of maritime commerce passes through these waters. Any disruption would send shockwaves through the world economy, causing supply chain chaos and price spikes. The region holds vast reserves of oil, gas, and is a crucial fishing ground. Competition for these resources intensifies the conflict. Overfishing and harassment of local fishermen threaten food security for millions. The stakes go beyond sovereignty. They're about future prosperity and survival. A conflict here would impact shipping, manufacturing, and economies worldwide. The economic risks act as both a driver of tension and a restraint. No country wants to trigger a global crisis, but the danger is ever present. The world's prosperity is tied to the stability of these waters. In recent years, the Philippines has made a decisive shift, reaffirming its commitment to its traditional allies. At the heart of this realignment is the enduring Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States, a pact that has stood for decades as a cornerstone of regional security. This renewed partnership signals Manila's intent to strengthen its position amid rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific. But the alliance is no longer just bilateral. It's rapidly expanding as Japan, Australia, and even European powers like the UK and France join a growing coalition. These nations are pooling their resources, expertise, and strategic interests to form a united front, determined to uphold the rules-based order in the region. Trilateral cooperation between the US, Japan, and the Philippines has become a central pillar of this new security architecture. Their joint military exercises, high-level meetings, and coordinated strategies are now essential to deterring threats and maintaining stability. Joint patrols in contested waters, real-time intelligence sharing, and increased military support are all on the rise. These efforts are designed to ensure rapid response to any crisis and to demonstrate unity in the face of potential aggression. Meanwhile, other nations such as Australia and the UK are stepping up their presence in the region. Their naval deployments and security partnerships send a clear message: the world is watching, and global concern over Indo-Pacific stability is growing. Ironically, China's increasingly assertive tactics have had unintended consequences. Instead of intimidating its neighbors, Beijing's actions have driven them closer together, forging new alliances and deepening old ones. The Indo-Pacific is now dividing into two distinct camps, one led by China, the other by the United States and its network of allies. This growing polarization is reshaping the balance of power across the region. As these divisions harden, compromise becomes more elusive and the risk of confrontation increases. Diplomatic efforts are strained and the potential for miscalculation looms larger than ever. The security landscape of the Indo-Pacific is being redrawn before our eyes. New alliances are forming, military bases are expanding, and headlines reflect a region in flux. In this climate of uncertainty, the stakes for peace and stability have never been higher. The choices made today will shape the future of the Pacific and the world for generations to come. The path ahead is uncertain and fraught with risk. The Philippines and its allies are unlikely to back down. China won't abandon its claims. More confrontations at sea are inevitable. The greatest danger is a miscalculation that spirals out of control. An arms race and stronger alliances will define the near future. Diplomatic solutions seem distant, but crisis management talks may help prevent disaster. The best hope is a tense, managed stalemate. No resolution, but no war. The South China Sea is a test for the global order, law versus might. The outcome will shape international relations for years to come. The world is watching. Knowing what happens here will echo far beyond these waters.